Dear Neurophone fans and fans of Dr. Patrick Flanagan himself, today I kindly like to introduce to you the new Flanagan Neurophone NF3, thanks to Hans-Martin Strobel from Germany, distributor of the Flanagan Neurophones. I now hold it in my hands. As you see, the shape is very similar to the NF1 model. You have the imprint Flanagan Neurophone NF3 on the front, also the Sri Yantra. Then, as usual, you have an input and output on that side of the device, and on the other side you will find a switch for on and off, and also this little wheel for volume. I will explain just a little later the functions, especially for in and output. If you just turn it, you'll find the battery cage, quite easy to open. It works with a 9-volt battery. Here I use rechargeable batteries, and above the battery you will find the switch for the strength of the signal, which you can change from 5 volts up to 20 volts. You can pretty much experience with this a little bit to see what suits you best. Now, operating this device, it of course offers very great benefit to you, as all Flanagan Neurophone devices, starting with the DSP model, followed by GRS, and now by NF1 and NF3 model. You see now I plug in the electrodes, the transducers, which are then connected to the output. These are connected with a little Velcro on the back, and you can put it pretty much anywhere on your body as you like. The signal would be quite strong, I think, on the forehead, but you can basically put these electrodes anywhere you like. This is a little plug for connecting audio devices to the Neurophone through the input. Here I have a little MP3 player, but also an audio signal splitter comes with a Neurophone, which you might plug into the earphone plug of the MP3 player, so that you will receive the signal of the MP3 player, like an audio file or whatever you like to hear, through the earphones, which I connect to the right side, as you see now, and the transducers on the left side. Yeah. If you connect it all, plug it into the input, turn on the device, and you will get the signal of the audio through your earphones in normal stereo hi-fi quality, but additionally transformed also through the transducers. Now, from my experience, the NF3 has a quite nice audio quality compared to previous models. Like coming from the DSP, the audio signal from the feed-in was very weak, and it was very difficult to understand speech. Music was not even recognizable which track you were playing, but with this device you must be fine. Now here I demonstrate that how you should release the battery. With a Neurophone, a small little laser cut stick is also coming, and you can easily disconnect the battery from the contacts with this little tool. Mr. Strobel is of the opinion that the contacts would last a little bit longer if you use these little helpers instead of trying to bring out the cable and put it in back again, and however. And also with this tool you can fix the battery into these contacts again, as you see. Pretty easy. I think after 1-2 times you will be familiar with this little procedure, and it might really help that this device is long lasting. It is very much recommended that you use rechargeable batteries for the Neurophone. As from my experience, this 9-volt battery would last 1, maybe 2 nights, depending on how high you would set the signal which will be emitted through the transducers. So with this little recharger, I think you are fine that after 1 night or 2 nights you could replace the battery and have full strength of the signal again. You have a control of the battery capacity. As soon as you turn on the Neurophone, you will see that a red light will turn on, which is located between in and output, and you will recognize that if the battery is getting weaker, also this light weakens, and the device would turn off automatically if the battery capacity wouldn't be enough to keep the signal upright. Now again, I would like to tell you a little bit about the possibilities how to use the Neurophone. Here again you see the transducers, which can be placed virtually on every part of your body, but you might hear the signal best on your forehead. Again, here's the whole setup if you combine the Neurophone with an MP3 player, and you might use the tracks of the CD, which are also delivered together with the Neurophone, which are some enhancement tracks with some sounds, some music, and also some speech. And I think you will be pretty amazed that you also hear the speech of these tracks in a very good quality, so that you really understand what is said on these tracks. The advantage of using this setup together with an MP3 player and earphones is that you would get the audio signal in crystal clear hi-fi quality through your earphones, and additionally you get the transformed signal through the transducers, which is a benefit that you would hear through the bones. That is what the Neurophone makes so exciting, I guess. And you will also experience that what I would like to demonstrate just now, that the background noise which is emitted by the Neurophone through the transducers would change depending on where you place the Neurophone, how you change the amplitude of the signal, and also how you touch the Neurophone. From my experience, especially if you rub with your finger over this Sriyantra, the signal would change. That means the range of the frequency itself, everything varies a little bit depending on where you put your finger. And this, I think, is a very exciting thing you can experience with this Neurophone. I really recommend to you to experiment as much as you can with this device. Just turn the volume up and down. You will recognize some change in the signal and the frequency. As I demonstrated before, you can rub the surface of the Neurophone on various places. And also, if you just, for example, place the Neurophone on different places of your body, you might have some effect. Like if you put it on your chest, the movement of your breathing would also have an influence in the frequency and the signal itself. Here you see another variation by using the Dr. Patrick Flanagan sensor 5 in this case. Also here you would experience some interesting changes in the signal, in the frequency, and I would also say in the energy that will be emitted by the transducers. From my experience, it's a very, very powerful sensor which has a very harmonizing effect, at least on my body. So I would recommend it without Neurophone, but in this combination it's quite interesting as well. So have a lot of fun and benefit from this device. and hopefully you will be able to get it for $99 very, very soon.